3 years ago. Such an outpouring of solidarity. But even though I'm far from home, your company, your support keeps me company in exile.
Snowden. Snowden lives in Russia, and the Oliver Stone movie about him is coming out. Basically, he's an IT guy that basically worked for the CIA, and what he found out that there was pretty much a major eye in the sky, a network of what the government is doing is it's watching us without us knowing. And Snowden was like, I think I'm just going to leak this. And when he did, the government charged him with espionage. And, it's really something is the CIA is, is full of rogue people. They kill each other all the time. They're always playing the game of espionage and agent and double agent. And they do that all the time. I'm not necessarily sure why, but it happens all the time. So this story about Snow, it just doesn't surprise me that another CIA agent has just decided to do something that's against our American government. But nonetheless, in this guy's case, he's an IT person. He just decided, I want President Obama to pardon me. Now, Edward Snowden's 33. Thing about Edward Snowden is he is hoping that since Obama, okay, for one, let's look at what Obama has been doing. Obama has been pardoning people who are criminals and who've been in jail for, I think, nonviolent crimes or whatever, and he's been getting those people out of jail. 68% of the people who are in jail are in there for nonviolent crimes, and some of them are doing life for nonviolent crimes because jail is corporate interest and they need people to be in jail in order to create revenue, which usually comes off of the some type of subsidies from the government and yada yada yada. Not all jails are privately owned, but there are privately owned jails, and so on and so forth. So he's looking at Snowden's looking at that. Snowden is a very smart and calculating person. He's also looking at the fact that the majority of presidents that take extreme action do it right before they leave the office, and Obama's about to leave the office, so he's like, maybe I can get Obama to say, you know what, Snowden, espionage is okay. Come on back. They also want to look at the fact that nobody was harmed by what Snowden did. And according to Snowden, America has been prospering because of what he's done. Here's the problem with that, Snowden. Here's the problem. One, if the president pardons you, then anybody else who's looking at being a whistleblower on the American government is going to say, hey, well, he got pardoned. Also, just a little information on whistleblowing. I go to school for health administration, and I have looked up the laws on whistleblowing when it comes to health services, when it comes to hospitals, and when you're pretty much an employee of a hospital and you're like, hey, you guys are upcoding. Upcoding is basically a form of charging somebody when they should not be charged. So let's just say you had a patient come in and the patient had an ear infection. Well, you decided that both ears had the ear infection when that was nowhere near the truth. So on your ICD-9 and CPT coding, what you would do is say, hey, we worked on both ears, and if that patient was a Medicare patient, Medicare is government, then you actually charged Medicare. That's illegal. So if there was a nurse or another doctor or the janitor or whoever who knew that the hospital was doing this, and that can cost millions and millions and millions of dollars, who knew the hospital was doing this and they decided to tell on the hospital, they go to what's called an ombudsman. The ombudsman helps them blow the whistle. They can also go to a whistleblowing website, so on and so forth. But anyways, they can do it and be protected is the point. And their job can be protected, so they don't lose their job. It's illegal to fire a whistleblower, and so Snowden knows these things. Like, he knows that there is forms of whistleblowing that the government says, okay, this is allowed. However, uh, Snowden's case is to the extreme of the extreme because it's the government. He's working inside of the government itself. So you have different entities that are taking place here with the government, the time constraints of the government, the whistleblowing act itself, and then you have the fact that Snowden was an IT guy and pretty much went to newspapers and said, this is what's going on. So you have all that, and I really don't think he's going to get, I don't think he's going to get away with it. I really don't. I think he's going to be exiled and hunted. We know he's living in Russia, but the thing about it is, the CIA, they have their own, what I call, they have their own hunting team. When they feel like coming after you about something, they'll come after you. And the only reason why he is in Russia is because the CIA knows not to play around in Russia. They know that. This is why he's hiding there, of all places. Because if the CIA goes over there, and especially if he became a citizen, if they go over there and kill Snowden, listen, the CIA kills off their people all the time. They killed one guy, they killed him off with, it wasn't lead. They poisoned him with mercury. It was one CIA agent to another, poisoned him with mercury. The guy died slowly and very painfully in the hospital, still in pain. So they kill each other off all the time, is what I'm saying. But nonetheless, if a CIA agent goes over there and kills off Snowden, and Snowden is a Russian citizen, then you're looking at war. You cannot go over there and just kill off a Russian citizen as an American. Not unless it's like, I just happen to be in America and some guy did something to me and we fought and he died. I'm still going to jail for a long time, but that's not going to create war. But in this case, it can be pretty deep. One more thing. Snowden is in Russia. Russia is our enemy. Putin hates us. This is one reason why Donald Trump is so dangerous. But imagine this. Snowden has so much information on America because he worked, and on our government because he worked and lived here, and he worked on some of our most intricate information. If he takes that information and he gives that to Putin, that makes you an all-out traitor. That's treason. And we got to understand that the laws of treason are still in effect. They can hang him for that. So there's so much going on with this Snowden case. It's not just some white dude who decided to, I'm going to tell mom, what my brother's doing. No, it's deeper than that. It's very, very deep. And we can all get sucked into it. It's your boy Tone 202. Peace.